Hello and welcome to the ESL One Mumbai Chinese Qualifiers Grand Finals. Now you may be saying to yourself, what on earth are we doing here? We only had the upper bracket finals yesterday and another game hasn't been played yet. Well, unfortunately Mr. Game Boy did have to forfeit the tournament, which means that Raw never give up. They lose to Keen Gaming, they go through the lower bracket and come straight back up again to face off versus Keen Gaming for this best of 5 finals. Now, it is a one-game advantage to Keen Gaming for getting through in the upper bracket finals. That's how the format works. So they'll be starting off. They only need 2 wins to take this series. Meanwhile, Raw never give up. They need 3. My name is Nomad. I am here with Mo Farah, of course, my loyal co-caster and companion and life partner, some might say. How's it going, dude?
You haven't asked me that yet, but yeah, okay, that's fine with me. That's right. Yeah, I'm doing good. I was kind of like sitting back a little bit, just casually looking at the draft, and somebody picked Dark Willow, and I kind of just shot up in my seat a bit. This is
yeah, very interesting opening from Keen Gaming. Not what we're used to seeing from them. This isn't like some kind of new meta they figured out. This is Nature's Prophet and Dark Willow, 2 heroes. We've seen a lot of Prophet. We have not seen a lot of Willow.
I know Crit's been playing it for a decent amount for EG at the moment as well, especially MDL Macau. So I haven't really seen anybody else playing it. Be interesting to see what they go for. It's kind of similar draft to yesterday, but with a little bit of different flavor to it at the same time. Like this, did we see this Lone Druid yesterday at all? I don't think we did.
No, not really. Lone Druid has not been one of the heroes we've been seeing regularly. So both teams picking up something new.
How does Divine Favor work on the bear?
It works very well. Yeah, it works. It works like it's a creep. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
So that is that's one thing which everybody said, like, oh, this is going to be really OP when it came out, and then nobody picked it. So this is going to be the first time I've seen it in a competitive game, though.
Do you reckon they're going to do the Divine Favor strat, but instead of a catapult, they're going to do the bear, where they just all buff up the bear like we did in a pub, where they pick like Invoker, Ogre, just buff up the bear build?
Seems possible. I hope so, to be honest.
That'd be great.
That'll probably be more applicable than our idea, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Lone Druid's so good, especially when you have, like in the first phase of the draft, you could pick it up. It can play mid lane. It can play safe lane. It can play off lane if you really want it to. In terms of like, it can be put in that lane and still have some kind of farm priority. So it's a very flexible hero where it can go in terms of being a core. So it means when you pick it up this early on in the draft, you get to see more of the opponent's draft before you have to pick your other course, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's always a bonus.
I'm just interested to see how well this Dark Willow does, because I haven't seen too much of it in quite a long time. Crit's been owning with it, but Crit's Crit, so
he's not like a good marker for whether a hero is good or not, because yeah, you see Crit play something and you're like, oh, I could do that, and then you cannot do that.
His Troll Warlord's super good as well. He's just spamming it in pubs before. Amazing.
Oh, does he play it 4?
No, he plays it as a core, but he was just amazing.
Okay, well, now we know.
So I just want to look at some of the bans as well this game. We saw the Kaká Rubik yesterday, obviously owning. I got taken out first phase by Royal Never Give Up. Same as the Keeper of the Light. They both played it. They both played it for 1 game before it got banned out in their 3rd game yesterday. So they are adapting a little bit to each other. Obviously, we saw a Life Stealer as well between these two. It's been banned out. Yeah, I think we saw a Viper as well.
This is pretty much going to be like a best of 7, near enough, because they've just played each other and now they're playing each other again today. Like a best of 7 with a long break in between is essentially what this is.
Yeah, I guess so. So, and the thing is, like with this Nature's Prophet as well, you could play it off lane. You could play it as your 5. Nature's Prophet Willow sounds like, as a support duo, sounds okay. They don't really rotate necessarily too well, but with the Prophet just TPing in, I guess it's not too bad. You just need some kind of like setups done, I feel like, at the moment, if you're going to be running this Prophet as a 5. You don't really want to initiate with a Willow. It doesn't really work.
No, you need something else. You need something else. Jump in and fear everybody. Wow. Not the ideal initiation here.
They all run away,
I'm sure
and you can't catch up with them. That's it.
What's your favorite combos with the Dark Willow ultimate? Because obviously Coil with Aghanims is pretty neat.
Yes, that was one I was going to say with the puck. Well, Rupture's really funny if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, Rupture's really
have you
good.
seen the ruptured Sakuchi Weaver that gets terrorized and he
I
just
have not.
flies off and dies? It's amazing. That was before they
sounds-
changed it so that Rupture didn't kill people. But
Damn it. If only you could use Surge on enemies. It'd be such a buff to Bloodseeker Darkseer. Imagine like in like those super low skill games like with new players and stuff. Like, I'd make a Smurf just to do that. With like you and me, we can make some Smurfs, just go into pub games and just like. Because I remember when I first started playing and there was a Bloodseeker on the enemy team and I had no idea what was going on. And I would just keep on running back to my fountain until I died every time. And my whole team was doing this until eventually we figured out, like, wait a minute, if we move, we die. Ah, okay. This makes sense now.
when I was younger, me and my brother used to play Dota together. I used to bully him by just rushing Radiance first on Ricky, and he didn't know what to do because he didn't know what sentries were. So I
Oh.
just ran him around and just burn away at him. It was great.
Did he still speak to you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right, a little bit.
It took
He's
years
got
for
that
us
look
to
in his
start
eyes,
talking
though. I remember what you did to me. Does he
I
still
guess
play
you-
Dota?
He does a little bit, yeah. Not a huge amount, but
Okay.
he's enjoying life. It's fine. I reckon they're going to pick some kind of jump here on Royal Never Give Up. Like you
You'd
have
hope
this
so,
trend to
yeah.
just secure the lane. Yeah, okay, like
All right.
this is really good. Again, it's one of these flex picks where it can play as a 4. You would assume Arfu's going to play it as the 4,
Mm-hmm.
but it could still be a core as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not even sure I consider Tiny a flex pick anymore. Like, it gives you the option, but like, it's not something we see often enough. And I guess we see it at 3 every now and again. But
I think
right
we see
now,
it-
I think you need those auras. You need those kind of either auras or heroes which just dominate the lane. And I guess Tiny can be that in some matchups, but I don't know. We'll see. Keen Gaming, though, they go for the Weaver, the little bug man coming into play. And I mean, I feel like Tiny should counter Weaver just because he's got this massive stick, which just looks like one big fly swatter, and you can just imagine him thwacking down on a bug with that and just completely annihilating its life. But obviously, that is not the case.
Doesn't Dark Willow counter Weaver though? Because he's holding like a bright lantern that Weaver's just going to want to walk towards all the time.
That's true. That's true.
So
And
like,
Tiny
is it
should
not
also
just going to
counter
hurt his
Willow,
teammate?
because when she throws that ball over to him, he can just bat it straight back again.
Oh, that's true.
That should be a hero, just like a guy with a baseball bat who just like whacks back any projectile.
I think we see the Tiny more as a mid than an offlaner these days. We saw old 11 play it as an offlane yesterday, but you don't. Yeah, like you say, you don't really see it as a 3 ever anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it mid a whole lot, but you know, it's as you say, it is a flex pick. It can go in these situations if needed, but more often than not, we do see it in the floor positions. So,
What do you pick as your?
a
Would you
little
pick
flex
something like
pick.
like a tie tier maybe? It's
I'm always tempted by a Tide, but I don't like it versus Weaver, especially with that mana break talent. It really kind of messes with him.
Or like Dark Seer maybe.
Probably looking
kind
for
of-
the Centaur. I think that looks really good this game.
Yeah, it's okay.
Gives you some jump for the Weaver. Oh, that's not what I expected at all.
I think more catch is fine though against this like heroes like this Weaver.
Yeah, right. Like the heavy lockdown which Shaman gives you could be really key versus this Weaver. Forces him into building some super defensive items as well, which is really nice because you don't want to have a Weaver in your game who's just allowed to rush like Diffusal or something and just mess with your life. Basically, it's not fun.
It looks like a really good Weaver game though at the moment. Apart from the Shaman being a little bit annoying.
5 seconds remaining.
Like, this whole Shaman pick though, it gives them catch, but it also helps with their push potential with the Chen and the Lone Druid. Like, you shove the wards down as well. They have a really high tempo lineup at the moment. Royal Never Give Up. If they do for this bear build and they go for like the Radiance, as soon as that Radiance comes online, they should be looking to just fight at the moment. But luckily for Keen Gaming, they do have a decent team fight kind of lineup. I still think they're lacking a little bit of catch, which I would be worried about. But
On Keen, yeah.
on Keen, yeah. So especially for like heroes like the Shadow Shaman and things, you want to be able to try and like bring them down at the start of the fight by jumping the backlines. But Keen Gaming
Yeah,
don't
I
really
think
have that.
I'm up for a Yi Puck right now. That's what I'm feeling mostly.
Puck's banned.
Oh no, by themselves as well.
So like Queen of Pain,
Golly.
pretty rubbish against
Nah.
Lone Druid in mid lane.
Yeah,
That's rubbish
you
against
just
Tiny
get
in mid lane.
dumpstered by those two, and it doesn't offer you any lockdown either. It's good jump, but it's not like any kind of if you've got a Weaver and a Prophet in your team, then you're going to need to jump in and make space for these two to actually get into the fight and join you, because
Mhm.
especially looking at these heroes, Lone Druid, you're not going to be able to burst on your own. Tiny as well. He's not going to go down easily enough, so you need to have a bit of lockdown on this mid laner, I feel. I'm just trying to think of what that could be.
10
I think
seconds
Royal Never
remaining.
Give Up pick some kind of... They could either pick something like a DK,
5 seconds remaining.
or they could pick some kind of like
DK,
aura builder.
Oh yeah, Kunkka would have been another good one. They banned that out on World Ever Give Up. Smart
Yeah,
move,
more-
smart
more
move.
catch.
Yeah. All right, RNG though. They're the next ones to pick. What do they need? It looks like it's going to be Lone Druid on the... Hey, what do you know? It is
It's
Tiny
going to be a
3.
Lone Druid 1. You would
Lone
assume,
Druid
I
1,
think it's going to be
yeah.
a Tiny 2, and they pick some kind of like Crimson Pipe builder here.
10 seconds.
So like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
I'm not sure
I
they
think-
need the pipe
5
against this team.
seconds
Definitely the Crimson would be nice though. Really good Crimson game actually.
Yeah.
Especially
Or
like
they
it
could-
helps negate the Elder Titan's aura with the Crimson Guard because obviously it gives you the extra tankiness, which won't be destroyed
Radiant
by
team
that
pick.
astral aura.
Okay, or not.
Ooh, all right. There goes
There's
the
your
Ember
Crimson
Spirit.
builder.
Yep, classic Ember Crimson. Who knows? Maybe he's gonna build Greaves and Atos like we see everybody doing on weird heroes these days.
That's interesting though. But again, it kind of shows that like the lack of lockdown that Keen Gaming have, it kind of abuses that. We were saying
It
that
does, yeah.
they can't really deal with like the Shadow Shaman, for instance, very well.
10
Never mind
seconds
something like an
remaining.
Ember, which is just going to be super mobile, playing the map. You know, just opening up the map, trying to
5
split push
seconds
more,
remaining.
and especially when you're against Nature's Prophet as well. Having this hero that can just TP around and try and catch him before he TPs away is always nice.
Okay,
They don't
well,
they don't have any time on Keen.
yeah, they really have to struggle for this pick, and they're gonna go for the OD. Okay, well, a hard counter for the Ember Spirit in the mid lane is considered. Although I have seen some Ember Spirits lane against him just fine, but Monet is picking up the Ember Spirit for the time being.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Setsu's playing the Tiny as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be position 3 Druid. I mean, we talked about it at the start. It's possible if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is really interesting.
I
Royal
think
Never
it's
Give Up.
more,
Maybe forced into a bit of an odd situation by this OD pick. I'm not sure if this is what they wanted.
I think it's more important that you give your Ember a good game here, though, if you've picked it. I don't think you can let it lane against the OD. You just have to let the Tiny just sit there and try and deal with it. Like, it's not too bad of a lane matchup. Obviously, it's OD favoured, I feel, but especially early on, the Tiny should get a decent amount of CS with the tree throw.
Yeah, for sure. But, melee
Tree grab.
heroes versus OD, never the ideal situation. I don't know. Maybe they will still put the lone druid mid and Flyby is just a better druid player.
Yeah, they could.
I'd find it really weird if they didn't put the druid mid versus this OD, because obviously he used to be a hard counter to OD. Now he does win the matchup, but it's not like a good old stomping like we used to see. But still, I really can't see a Tiny doing, like, once Yi hits like level 3 on the OD, I really can't see Tiny getting a looking in this lane. But maybe I'm wrong.
I think
It's
I
happened
hope they
before.
do what you said. I think they'll put the lone druid mid. I mean, that would be the ideal situation, you would assume. But who knows, to be honest.
Who knows?
Chinese Dota is a
indeed.
crazy place.
Yep, yeah, it certainly is. It's they kind of developed their own little meta over there because obviously they don't scrim together with the Western teams that much, So we kind of get looking into this microcosm of Dota here, which these two teams are playing, and obviously grand finals. This is when all the strats have to come out. This is when you got to throw everything down and give it everything you got to make it to. And this is a trip to ESL Mumbai. Got to ride in a tuk-tuk. I'm into it.
Yeah, very true.
You ever
Look at this.
have you ever seen a tuk-tuk?
I haven't seen one in person, no, but I know what they look like.
Very.
But yeah, I was just saying, look at this mid again. Like, it's the fastest hero goes and puts the ward down mid now. That's the new meta. So Weaver has Sakuchi, rushes to the mid lane, off he goes.
All right, so it does look like Flyby is going to be on this druid in the middle lane, as expected. So yeah, it is just going to be like a preference that Flyby is obviously the more confident player. Now Monet's actually down bottom on the Ember at the moment. And Setsu on top on the Tiny. This might be some lane dodging shenanigans. It's kind of hard to figure out, but I mean, Tiny's great versus Prophet. There's no doubt about that.
I think they've realised that there's probably going to be a tri lane coming out from King Gaming with this like Weaver, Elder Titan, and Dark Willow. So the Ember
Yeah.
really wants to dodge it, and they just put the Tiny up there. You
What
see the
is
Bears
this
doing a really
about?
good job at the moment of just scouting around. They don't even have to commit a hero for it.
Is that an emote you get with the Arcana?
No idea.
That's some next level stuff. Anyway, I am fully distracted here. All right, so we'll see if there's any last minute TPs coming out before we do rate my lane. And
I mean,
these
this
wards, is this getting dewarded?
This
Why
is really
Dark
good for
got shared
RNG though.
tangos?
I
I mean, Yi had them as well, so they're not putting any crazy shenanigans, but yeah, Dark has shared tangos right now. What a greedy 4 position.
Oh no, I think the Dark Willow probably gave some to the OD as well.
Oh yeah, the dark.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, the poor Willow. She's just like charity case.
Or
I don't
maybe
even know
they
who
thought
he's got
Dark's-
these from.
They might have thought that Dark's going to be having to trade more in the bot lane, so they just
Harkar
gave him more
them to
regen.
him. All right, I don't even understand anymore. I'm not going to hypothesize about that any longer. It's Harkar has apparently bought just loads and loads of tangos. So
No, I think it's just that. Okay, and then look at bot lane a sec first, because he's getting smacked down.
what? Yeah, that divine favor helping out a bit just to help his regen coming in. All right, I think it's time. We seem to have our lane session, so it's time for Rate My Lane with Mo Farah. Firstly, we've got the bottom lane, where we have Nature's Prophet, Dark, versus... Actually, I should probably say the heroes. Never mind, Monet's getting his ass beaten again by this this pesky Elder Titan. So he keeps on refreshing that Astral Spirit. And this guy, he's the king of tri-lanes, dude. Like, you put him versus a tri-lane, and he's just going to completely blow this stuff wide open. Alright, so we've got a Nature's Prophet and an Elder Titan versus a Shadow Shaman, a Chen, and an Ember Spirit. Who's favored?
I mean, I would have said... Oh, hang on, let me just decide in a second. one sec. Okay, no. Well, I would have said before the ET came down, obviously the tri-lane would win, but like you said, ET's the king of tri-lanes, even if he's on the other side. So, I think they should be fine down here on the Radiant. They should, do pretty well, at least draw. So that's
Alright,
a
so
win,
you're looking at
when
10
you
out
don't
of
have
10
numbers
lanes.
advantage.
A 10
Yeah.
out of 10 lane where you think it's evenly matched. Alrighty
I
then,
think
over in the middle lane we have the Outlaw Devourer versus the Lone Druid. What level of competitive are you giving this lane?
Oh, this is definitely Lone Druid favourite, I would say, but it's pretty close.
Alright, so
Probably like an 8.
Oh, an 8. Wow. Okay.
Oh, Arfu
meanwhile,
has...
Dark just suicides on the tower. No biggie.
Look at
Normal
the
stuff.
courier. Radiant courier. It's coming. Arfu has an Invis rune.
No.
Oh, this is so good.
No.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He just...
Arfu,
Yeah,
the
well,
shark. The courier shark.
he has a salve on OD, but he's going to have to pop it now. And then he's got one tango left to work with for the next 2 minutes.
Yikes. Yeah, this is going to be real tough for him in this lane. I mean, this is just no regen versus a druid. This guy is going to ruin his day. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, I did see Setsu getting low here, but I also saw him in the tree, so I wasn't expecting him to die. But apparently, he does just get caught out by old chicken here. So that's going to be first blood. Tiny going down in the top lane.
Yeah, it's not too surprising. I think up against this Weaver especially, it's a really good matchup for the Weaver. I was going to say this lane up here is definitely Radiant favoured by quite a way.
Yeah. I think this is
and
probably...
now that Chen's moved top lane as well, the Radiant should effectively do well in all 3 lanes.
Yeah. I'm surprised they've moved the Shaman, honestly. I feel like even though the Elder Titan is doing work down here, I still think you need to secure Monet.
I don't think the Shaman does anything in this bot lane though. Like, he can't really go up and hit them. Like, the trees and the ET are just going to hit harder.
He has kill potential. And Prophet is not a tanky guy. Like, 6
Shen
armor,
doesn't...
it's a lot, but
Ooh,
with the
top
magic
lane.
damage, it should be enough. Ooh, Avatar comes in, and Old Chicken is taken care of, and the Willow dropping quite low as well. Needs to back
Yeah,
himself
Shackles in one.
way up. Arfu ready. There comes a Shackles. Setsu, he's got a toss as well, and this is going to be another kill. Ooh, no,
Ooh,
never
the
mind. Stick in the air. Aerial stick, 10 out of 10 for style points, but now Setsu's actually getting it turned around him. It's Old Chicken chasing him down. He's going to have another Scoochie in 3 seconds, though. He's looking towards Arfu instead. Can he actually get both of these? Nah, he's going forwards for Setsu here, and he's going to find him with his Scoochie. Now running back, looking towards Arfu. Is he? No, he's focusing
I think
on lane
Setsu
now.
kind of double backed there and maybe, attempting to maybe help with Shaman, and it did not work.
Yeah.
Chen had a Wild Wing Ripper down in the bot lane. And he was trying to summon, just use this tornado in the lane to abuse, but the Titan just stomped it. He was like, absolutely not. Get out my lane. But with the 2 points in Holy Persuasion, this Wild Wing's going to cause problems. Gives so much armor.
Bonus 3 armor. Thank you very much.
Almost as good as an 8 armor frost shield creep, but
Man, there's a lot of aggression up in this top lane, and Satsu comes forwards once again. Arfu waiting in the wings, but both of them going to get caught by these roots, doing a ton of work right now. They're trying to turn it around, and they will get the kill onto the Dark Willow, but now Setsu is alone versus this Weaver. He does not have a TP either, so I think this might be a dead Setsu. It's going to be a long, slow death, but eventually, Old Chicken will just run him down here. There is no help coming in quickly enough. Right click, gonna get the bounty. Oh, he can't. Old Chicken's gonna reap his rewards here.
Yeah, look at the CS chart at the moment. This Tiny he's died 3 times already.
Yep.
And he's only got 10 CS. This Tiny is not having a fun time.
No, that is not pleasant. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, things looking a little bit brighter for Keen Gaming as their Outward Devourer is looking pretty happy.
Look at the denies the Radiant side have between them on the 3 cores. Oh,
sorry, E. I kind of cursed you here, buddy. Well, they're getting busy on him here with Arfu, Lanham, and Flyby all coming in for this one. But now the Weaver rotates in. Not the hero you expect to see this early on in the game, but he gets the Sakuchi through all 3 of them. Arfu dropping really low here. They will use the Roar to chase away Old Chicken. Is it going to be enough, though? I'm not sure it is. The courier comes in, and well,
Monet died.
He did indeed.
Well, it's just been
all alone.
The problem, yeah, when these 2 supports leave the bot lane, he cannot do anything here. He just gets chased down by this Nature's Prophet and ET. At least with the Weaver leaving the top lane, Tiny should have a little bit of space.
That's true. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm not very much, but a little bit.
Not very long, probably. But
oh, mid lane again. Going on the OD.
Yeah, he's nearly actually takes down Arfu with him. I'll have to back himself
Can
away.
he get a
With the
root?
Astral, I don't think they're going to get anything. He is level 6, isn't he? I'm just checking this one. He has leveled up the bear, because there we go. He finally gets a root onto the Weaver. Ooh, Shaman wasn't quite close enough to get those shackles in on time. If he had, that certainly would have been a dead Weaver.
Yeah, the root reveals invis, so he still saw him right until the end of that. He was halfway through the animation for shackles. Which he does have 2 points in, by the way. Different kind of build on this Arfu Shaman. We usually see the 2-0-1 or like a 1-1-1 build.
Yeah, obviously seeing the lockdowns necessary. Meanwhile, Dark in the bottom lane being chased down by Monet. RNG looking for this kill. I feel like they need it. They need Monet to have a good game here, but he's not going to find it. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Setsu gets brought down again by Kaka and Old Chicken as they just continue to lay on the pressure onto this Tiny. So top lane, it's a bit of a gravestone up there. No one's really alive anymore on the side of RNG. Bottom lane, Monet, he's actually still losing to the Prophet despite everything. So pretty painful.
They're going to go bot lane again. The Shaman's getting TP'd in, I think.
Yep.
Oh,
it's the Tiny, and they don't close the gap on Old 11 here. So he's just going to TP himself away and say, yep, you guys do what you want down here. I wouldn't even consider this a win for the Dire in the bottom lane. So, oh. Shackles out in the mid lane. They're going on to Yi here, and now the root comes in. Throw in a Roar as well. Yi dropping low, dropping low. They're going to need a couple more hits, but the bear is not in range, and he is going to survive. Meanwhile, Flyby gets taken down by Old Chicken, Kaka, and Old 11. So Keen Gaming, once again, just outmaneuvering RNG in every available opportunity so far. It's really feeling rough for RNG as they're just trying to make some movements happen around the map. All right, surely they can get Dark here. But there's a lot of heroes coming in. Old Chicken coming in on the back line. Setsu doesn't have a lot of health left as the shackles come out onto Dark, and they don't find the kill. And so much damage from that Wrath of Nature. Arfu trying to run away. Old Chicken going to run him down here. Kaka says hello. Not going to steal the kill, though. Monet gets himself back. And that's going to be that. Keen Gaming, once again, RNG go for a kill in the bottom lane, chase it too hard, and Keen Gaming just pull down their pants and give their bottom a hard slap.
The thing, with the way the lanes were set up this game, Keen Gaming had much better lanes with, you know, when all the dust settled. Well, bot lane, they're going again.
Oh, Monet in
Ember's
some
level 4.
trouble. He doesn't have a way to get out of this. The Searing Chains will hold still Old Chicken, but not for long as he continues to chase down. Lanham is just watching here as he can't do a thing whilst Monet gets chased under tower. It's going to survive. The Divine Favor helps out a lot there. That health regen basically keeping him alive there, but still, Keen Gaming force him back, do a lot of damage, and put some pressure onto the tower in the process.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, with how the lanes were set up, you can understand why RNG are trying to make these aggressive plays across the map, though, right? Like, you see the Shaman and the Chen, like, wandering around. Like, the Chen's trying to TP people in all the time to find kills. Because if they leave the lanes as static as they were, they're not going to find anything in this laning stage. They're going to fall further and further behind. So they're desperately trying to make things happen. They've gone on this OD mid 3 times, and he's got out on low health every single time.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate, but...
Doesn't feel too good. Well, they've caught themselves a bug. The shackles are out inside the Sakuchi, and it's going to run off as well, and he is just taken care of. Bug equals squished. So Monet gets half healthed by the Wrath of Nature. Very good, very nice. Oh, okay.
This is fair. And that was then an arcane rune, Wrath of Nature, by the way.
Oh,
It wasn't. He took
money.
after
Money.
Never mind.
Oh,
Sad
poor
times.
efficiency.
He might take this tower, though. Yeah, he gets it.
There you go.
Dire's middle
The
tower
treeing up the
has
bed to
fallen.
stop him coming in for the deny. Very nicely done by old 11 there. Up on the
Yeah,
top
I mean-
lane in a bit of trouble on the Tiny. Once again, they find him in the trees and they take him down. Keen Gaming punishing anybody. This top lane is just...
Radiant's
It's a
bottom
quarantined
tower
area
has
for the
fallen.
Dire.
Yeah, this Tiny's not having a game
Outbreak
so
of
far.
throw, and you got to stay away.
He's got 6 deaths on the Tiny in like 11 minutes.
Yep.
That's really
Mono,
sad.
is he right here? He's got remnants available, I guess. He's got phase boots as well, so he's just going to outpace this Weaver.
Yeah, he's fine.
Not going to force anything out of him.
I love how they've put the Nature's Prophet mid against the Lone Druid now because they know that OD can't really stay there. Because it's such a hard... Like, the OD is so much more susceptible to getting ganked by heroes like the Shaman and whatnot just rotating in, so...
Ooh, Setsu closing the gap onto the OD here. He's looking for the toss back. He's going to throw him to the catapult as in comes the Ember Spirit, but it's a slow TP. Afu is there for the catch, but Willow is also in behind him. Can they finish off Yi in time? Doesn't look like it, and now comes in the Bedlam doing a ton of damage. They blow up Afu. Yi getting low. They will find the kill with the Sleight of Fist, but Setsu in trouble as well. The Avalanche doing a lot of work, but he just gets punched in the face by Dark. Kaka goes down as well, so it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade up here in the top lane, which does favor RNG because they did manage to take down that Outward Devourer.
If I was an RNG player there and the OD got out again for a 4th time in a row, I probably would have just called GG and gone next. That would have...
This guy is just... Yeah.
I'd have been so angry.
We're supposed to have the RNG.
But yeah, he's actually gone for a different kind of Ember build to what we've been seeing recently. A lot of the players that we've been watching have been going for this max Sleight of Fist build.
Old Lemon's got his Midas, and he just took a very long time to use it. He wants the catapults
no.
as well. He's chasing them down. Very nice.
Yeah, we usually see this max Sleight of Fist build at the moment with 1 maybe 2 points in Flame Guard before they max out chains, but Mane's gone for just the max Flame Guard build, which is what we used to see all the time.
Taking it back
Dire's
old
top
school
tower
style.
is under
Yeah.
attack.
I mean, I guess the Magic Shield really helps against being run down by Weaver and also the damage which OD can throw out onto him, so I understand it in that sense. Meanwhile, Snakes are out onto Old 11 here, but he immediately breaks through them and gets himself away thanks to the Astral. Meanwhile, Fear comes out onto Tiny, not before he gets the Avalanche off, though. Monet needs to dodge this Sleight of Fist, but decides to just stun up his Tiny instead, because he's that kind of guy. Now looking towards Dark. Well, it will get the chains off. Run forward, Stomp coming through, but the Astral actually interrupts the Stomp. A little bit of
it's the Weaver,
miscommunication there,
though.
perhaps. Yeah, Weaver coming in, Sanities comes down as well. Immediate Hand of God to heal them back up afterwards. Afu in some trouble. He's going to die to the Earth Splitter. Now we'll look for more. Well, chicken. He's actually distracted by some snakes. Delicious. Now looks towards Lanham. Yeah, Lanham, he's just going to get stunned up here, and old chicken is free to just bash away at the guy and does find the kill. Now, this tower is going to be the reward for Keen Gaming for taking this fight up here at the top. A bit of a messy one. RNG, it could have gone worse, and meanwhile their Lone Druid is just farming down here in bottom. Has he got this Midas? He does indeed. Okay, so he's got the Midas. He's going for the Radiance next. Is this too slow?
I mean, it's 13.5 minutes, and he's got 500 gold on top of his Midas. That's not where you want to be as a Lone Druid. You want to be sitting on top of the net worth chart. You want to be, the highest farming net worth core in the game. Yeah. It's not worked out like that, unfortunately.
And he won his lane, but thanks to a bunch of failed rotations from RNG, unfortunately, he does not feel like he won his lane right now as the... Well, I guess the OD is 700 gold behind him, but he just feels so much scarier.
The mid lane wasn't the problem, though, this game. Like, both the side lanes got won really hard by Keen, so... Good rotations by them, and unfortunately, all the RNG rotations just didn't pay off in the early game, unfortunately. If they had, then this game would have been feeling a little bit different, it feels like.
Absolutely, but it's a good, it's a good learning point for a lot of people who are watching as well. If you do win or lose all your lanes, or if you do lose your side lanes even, then you do need to make something happen. You do need to go and make these rotations, take these fights. RNG did absolutely the right thing. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for them this game. But hey, there's still plenty of time left in the game, and these rotations have kept them in it. They're going on to the OD here once again. Lanham and Afu trying to close down the gap. They TP and Setsu as well. The Wrath of Nature ripping through, doing a bit. Is it enough? And they actually toss the wrong person forward. Lanham's like, I don't want to be here. I don't do anything. And Yi is going to get himself away. And meanwhile, the rotations from Keen Gaming coming in.
It's the Prophet.
Ward 11 trapped inside the wards once again, but it doesn't matter as Afu's taken down. They're just trying to buy some time. Lanham, that was an optimistic TP. He's going to get his tubes grated in the trees. And Keen Gaming, once again, punishing RNG for failing these ganks. I mean, it's just small things, you know. If you toss the Chen forwards when you're meant to toss the Shaman. You know, Chen needs to get himself out there. Setsu needs to say, I'm wanting to toss a Shaman. Shaman needs to get it nice and close. You know, just a couple of things. If one of those had done one of those things, then that wouldn't have happened.
That was just bad execution more than anything, unfortunately.
Agreed.
Like, it's just a bad toss, that's all. Otherwise, they would have got the kill.
Yeah, as I said,
And
they're going
these
for the right
things-
players. They're going for the right rotations. Unfortunately, they have just been poorly
It's the
executed.
butterfly effect as well, right? Like, wherever you'd have got the OD kill there, he'd have been off the map for a little while. Like, anything could have happened here. Old 11's getting gone on in the bot lane, though.
Yep, they're going for another kill, and he's going to throw down this trees. Meanwhile, Old Chicken comes in. Can at least finish off Old 11? The Astral, again, doing so much work to just save hero after hero, as down comes the Sanity's Eclipse. They're wanting to chase Hetsu, and he's trying to run the trees here, but there's no escape. Meanwhile, the TP forwards, Old 11, nice trees done by him to stop the Ember being able to just simply Quelling Blade out of them. But unfortunately, he still had this remnant up, and Old Chicken's going to say, yeah, no shrine for you. I'm going to bully you off the shrine as well.
Why?
So Monet keeps on running.
Why did Arthur not just use shackles on the Nature's Prophet? I don't really get it.
Go fish.
I'm a little bit bamboozled.
Uh-oh. Well, you might have a very intimate meeting with the... oh. X is a treant. Alright.
Are they?
So maybe a little bit...
Are they okay?
Getting a little bit hot and bothered here on the side of RNG. You know how it is. Bit of a tilt maybe coming through.
Flyby's getting gone on top as well. This is the guy that can't die.
I mean, his bear's life stealing for him a bit. It's doing a great job of keeping him alive, actually, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
He's
the
down to the
splitter.
same, and the split earth is coming down. The Elder Titan doing the damage with the Wrath of Nature as well. Keen Gaming clean up everybody in the top lane. It was looking bad for RNG, but now it's looking awful as just failed gank, failed rotation, and Keen Gaming finding everything and more from every rotation they make.
Do you remember after the last series we cast yesterday where we said they should just go and get smashed afterwards? Where they should just go and get drunk, like after the game. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I feel like, at the moment, the way the game's being played, I feel like one of the teams took our advice,
All right.
and the other one stayed at home. I don't know, RNG is just like misusing their spells all the time, and
It's not what we expect from these high-tier teams. They're definitely looking for a better performance from them, to be honest. But, you know, game one, you know, first game of the day, warm-up game. I always lose my first game of the day, so...
every time.
Yeah, it's important. You got to humble yourself.
I think you lose the second, third, and fourth as well, don't you?
You know, I've got to really... Those are the days I really need to humble myself.
All right, okay.
I just wake up feeling like a god, and I'm right. Got to go lose some dots.
Setsu mid. They're just going to leave him. They spare him this time.
He DM'd one of them saying, "Oh, send your nudes if you leave. Let me live."
Is under attack.
All right. Best be good. Druid is making his way towards his Radiance, but yeah. It's a long journey. It's a long journey. Mid tower going to be deconstructed, taken down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
But like they just need to hit this timing with the Radiant Spare on RNG where they... Oh, this Chen is getting chased.
Karkar's going for the solo kills, dude. He's feeling
He's feeling himself.
Yeah, exactly. Old 11 TP's in, steals it from him. Meanwhile, Arfu just gets annihilated by Old 11 here. He doesn't even have any damage items, but he's just hitting like a truck somehow.
I mean, he has a Vlad's, so he's getting a little bit, but he's hitting so hard on this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he's just got not a lot of natural damage. Just a big boy, big hits.
The thing is, like, as well, if you look at the Dire side, right, they have this Ember and they have this Lone Druid that both need to farm at this point. Like, they can't really fight, especially with the build that Monet went for. Like, the reason we've been seeing this max sleight of fist build first is because you just go phase drums and run at people, right? If this Tiny has a bad game, which he has so far, like, he got owned in that top lane, then who's controlling the tempo for the Dire side?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have anybody because these other two cores really need the farm. So they can't be fighting. Tiny can't fight because he hasn't got anything.
I mean, that's just a tiny effect, though. You know, he did make the rotations in the early game. It's not like he wasn't trying to find... I love this wall they've created, by the way. The Great Wall of China just across the Roshan pit. Try and steal our Aegis now. Oh, he goes in for it. Monet making the plays, but unfortunately he doesn't get it. I mean, you gotta try, don't you? You go there. They take down Dark. All right, they take down Dark. Monet does die horribly for it. Setsu dropping low as well. Yi gonna take him down. Now they'll look towards the Ember Spirit as well. Ato's out onto him, and they'll finish him off. But GG is called. You had to go for it. You had to make the plays. Monet looking to get to the front page of Reddit, but unfortunately we'll just get to the bottom page of this set. As they do drop the first game in this series, which due to the one game advantage, puts them at 0-2 RNG. So only one game away from defeat. That's pretty scary.
To be fair, like, I understand that, like, what RNG are doing there. Like, they're so far behind, they have to make a play in that Roche pit. If it goes badly, they've lost the game anyway. So they might as well just, like, make a play. Like, if they get Aegis on the King Gaming side, you're not going to stop them. But
I mean, not just from a casting perspective, not just because I want to see Stick Aegis steals and, you know, Dank 420 Sleight of Fist to kill Roshan, but, you know, that... You're so far behind. You can't give up the Roshan. You can't contest the Roshan, so all you can do is go in for the steal. If it doesn't pay off, GG out, tap it out, boys. You know, clearly they had this discussion beforehand and said, all right, they're going to try Rosh at some stage. You know, we have good Rosh steal potential with the Ember Spirit, and we can shove a Lone Druid Bear into there as well. You know, Tiny's got himself a Blink. Let's see what happens. And unfortunately, that was the final straw for Royal Never Give Up.
I don't really understand the Ember pick this game, though, right? Where... Like, you see this first pick Nature's Prophet from Keen Gaming. You know they're going to want to play fast tempo. Like, Old 11 loves doing this, where he just TPs around the map, finds kills all the time. If you're going to pick this Lone Druid Ember, you have to make sure your other lanes do well. And they can't. Like, these two heroes can catch up afterwards, like with this max flame gun and stuff. And if your lanes start losing, you can't just sit back and just try and farm on both of them still. Like, I think Monet has to either adjust his skill build, where he goes for this max Sleight of Fist, and just runs around trying to fight. But they have to be able to keep up with this fast tempo that Keen are going to be doing, and they've done it almost every single game we've cast of them so far. Like, you've got to match it, or at least get close to it, to try and fight early on. Otherwise, the tide just swings so quickly into Keen Gaming's favour.
Yeah, you know, as I said, RNG making the right movements, but unfortunately not finding the right results. Maybe partly due to some unfortunate circumstances, but definitely when the tides turned in against them, they started making some unforced errors, which you absolutely cannot do in these games, especially against teams like Keen Gaming, who have proven themselves plenty of times to be a pretty admirable team. Already
So one more. Like, if these early ganks had paid off, this game could have been completely different, but we will never know, unfortunately. It's very sad.
We will never know unless we go and replay the game move by move. Alrighty then, that is going to be the second... no, actually, technically, I don't know. How do you even say this? It's the first game, but then like the second score, or I don't know. Either way, it's 2-0 for Keen Gaming now in this best of 5, so they are one game away from victory. This could be a very short best of 5 indeed. We join us next game, as we'll see if Royal Never Give Up can take 3 games in a row of Keen Gaming. It's possible, but if they play like this again, it's certainly not. But hopefully they have a team talk, you know, they have a little bit of a scrum, you know, slap each other on the bum and say, all right, come on, let's next game, let's bring our A game. That wasn't the RNG. We know we can play like, let's bring some Dota. And I'm looking forward to it, because I think they will be able to do that. You know, a team with Lanham in it, you can never put them down. So, next game coming up very shortly. Don't go anywhere. My name's Nomad. He's been Mo Farah, and we'll see you after a short break.